this opportunity to once again look to you as the great God that you are. Lord. You've done so much in all of our lives, Lord. And we thank you for your grace, Lord, the grace that I now truly understand much more than I ever have. Father, I just pray that you made the scene tonight, that your words make glory through me. Here in the amazing King, Lord. I thank you for this opportunity to be able to speak in front of your servants, your children. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Okay, well, I was in an accident, obviously, February of 2007. It wasn't just a normal everyday accident. I was riding a motorcycle at 110 miles an hour. I was actually doing a wheelie. I popped the wheelie up at 80 miles an hour, and I rode it to 110. And I know it was 110 because I was standing on the peg and I had a red line, which means as far as it can go. This is in third gear, which is 110. Wanting to shift in the fourth. Something happened. The bike, I really think that's the win. Something happened. I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I came down much too hard, going much too fast, and when the bike came down, I got the speed wobbles and kicked me off of the bike. Where the front tire of the bike hit, there was a tree within a foot of it, not just a palm tree, but a tree with big branches, and I believe that's where my arm originally impacted, was on that tree. Shattered every bone in my forearm and ripped my arm almost completely off. I remember impacting the ground, and I remember rolling and switching and flying 110 yards while my arm was hitting me on the other side of the face, coming all the way around and slapping me over here. So I knew that my arm was messed up. I didn't realize that it was almost completely off. I really believe 100% that God sent an angel out there. And I'll go ahead and share why I believe that, and I think everybody would probably come to agree after I share why I believe that God sent an angel and that I've actually been touched and held by an angel. After I stopped rolling and switching and finally stopped, first thought in my head was, oh God, please, not oh God, but God can straight through him. God was going paralyzed. And I moved my legs a little bit. I couldn't really move, but I had that feeling that they weren't paralyzed, they weren't numb. I felt like if I had the strength, that I could have moved them. And I proceeded to say thank you, Lord. Then to start feeling, fear came over me of being alone. I was riding with one other friend, but it was, I don't know if it was fear of death or what it was, but it just came over me. I got scared. It was a dark, scary feeling, not just a usual one. And then I had an experience where God asked me if I wanted to live or die. I heard those words, and like any booming voice or anything like that, but when you're sitting there and you're dying, and that voice comes to your head, or it's coming from you, it's okay to be one of the die. And I had to think about it. Life was good. Life was really good, but I know a life. I want to know what life is like on the other side of most of those. I had a vision of my family, but more so the vision is kind of distorted in my memory, but more so I felt the emotion of how my family and friends would feel if I passed away. I truly felt that emotion and that pain, and as soon as I felt that, I said, I want to live, Lord. And he said, you need to stay awake and you need to fight. And I said, okay. So That's exactly what I did. Right after I had that experience, I heard footsteps, and the guy was riding with John, an old friend of mine, and another gentleman. What's his name, Dad? Dad? Remember his name? And then another gentleman stopped, and there was two other gentlemen that stopped with, at the time, who was my best friend, John. They actually had to run 110 yards from where the bike hit. Because they didn't realize that I was going to go so far. They stopped where the bike hit and ran up. Obviously my arm was completely almost off and wrapped around. So the gentleman was a doctor. One of the gentlemen was a doctor. And he knelt down beside me. He took the other gentleman's shirt, stuffed it into the open wound, and shut my arm. I passed out when he did that. I don't remember him doing that. But when I woke up, what I do remember is him saying, "Caleb, you need to stay awake and you need to fight." Which kind of just worked all together at the time. It didn't seem, it just worked at the time in my mind that he said exactly what I heard, and I knew that's what I needed to do. That's what you hear your whole life, which is to be in a position like that, you need to stay awake. However, this man continued to take care of me very well. I don't know, it's hard to explain the feeling, but he eventually asked me if I could breathe, and I first said yes, and he asked me again, "Hey, can you breathe?" And I said, "Yeah." This time I couldn't breathe. I was having trouble breathing. My lungs were collapsing in, and I was on my side. And this guy, who I believe was an angel, he was already knelt down next to me. He got down, somehow rolled me into his arms, to where my head's in his arms right there, and he rolled me over to where I could kind of look up and see him. I never got a look at him because of the face mask was so dark. I looked at the cheated face visor, but he rolled me into his arms and held me. And the feeling of comfort I had in this man's hands in the midst of the most extreme pain that is not describable is something that only can come from God. I was very, very, very comforted. I knew I wasn't going to die. I knew I had to fight and break through the pain, but the comfort I felt in this man's arms was something that I've never really felt before. He continued to hold me and repeatedly telling me to fight. That's really all I remember him saying. I know there was more said, but I don't remember a whole lot more than that. And once the ambulance got there, I don't remember leaving him. I don't remember getting in the ambulance. I think once they started to move me again, the pain got too much and I passed out. But I remember the ambulance ride. Wasn't much to that, but the begging for morphine that they wouldn't give me. I was begging for it, and they wouldn't give it to me. It was just the physical pain. But again, God told me I was going to live, and I knew I was going to live. I didn't doubt for a second. There wasn't 1 second that I doubted that I was going to die. I just knew I wasn't going to, for sure. I even joked with him, if you don't give me morphine, I'm going to die on you. And in my head, it was a joke because I knew I wasn't going to die. But, they actually didn't respond at all to anything I